Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and this enormous shrub here is the kiwi berry, Actinidia kolomikta. Actually, I remember this shrub from almost 20 years ago, and back then it was overgrowing a little tool shed. Well, it still must be somewhere in there, so this kiwi berry basically ate a tool shed. When I'm talking to people about growing kiwis in Central Europe, most say, oh no, this is a tropical or subtropical fruit, we cannot grow it here. Well, this is not even true for the normal kiwi anymore. In mild areas of Germany, it's quite easy to grow it, and even in the area of Marburg, I've seen one or two plants. But for the kiwi berry, Actinidia kolomikta, it's completely false. Actually, this is a plant which does not grow well, even in mild areas of Central Europe. But here, in the Botanic Garden of Marburg, on a mountain top, 450 meters above sea level, at least I think it was 450, maybe it was 380. Well, on a cold, windy mountain top, in an area which is USDA Zone 7A, and I guess this mountain top could even P7B at least, could have, 6B could have been USDA Winter Hardiness Zone 6B at least before the climate change. Well, here, this stuff, which in mild places like Heidelberg or Frankfurt will wither, here it grows perfectly. This year it doesn't have a lot of fruit. I remember years where you could basically harvest 80 kilograms from this thing, probably. I think, what did the gardeners tell me back then? Like they harvest 80 to 100 kilograms, and back then the shrub was only half the size. Now it's bigger, but the year was very dry. Still, I think if you try hard enough, you would be able to harvest 20-30 kilograms of this bush. Well, the fruit are not completely ripe yet. They need just a couple more days. You could basically pick them in that state. Look, some of them are already soft and squishy. Let me change hands. Some of them are already soft and squishy. The others are ripe enough to pick them, and if you keep them at home for 1 or 2 days, they will get nice and tasty too. Well, they basically taste like a better version of the big hairy kiwis. And because they are not big but small, you can pop them like cherries in your mouth. And because they are not hairy, you don't need to peel them. And they grow without much care, even in quite harsh climates for Middle European standards. So you can grow them pretty much everywhere in Zone 7, well into Zone 8, and I'm pretty sure you can grow them in Zone 6B. One of my favorite fruit. One of the best kiwis I've ever tried. I'm addicted to this stuff. Basically, living in Heidelberg, you get a lot more fancy sub-Mediterranean or not hardy fruit than in Marburg. But if you have a permit from the Botanic Garden of Marburg, what I do, you can find so many things on this remote mountain top. And one of the best ones is the kiwi berry. So folks, I have to stuff my face with those nice fruit. If you live anywhere in Germany or anywhere in USDA Winter Hardiness Zone 7, which is basically most of Germany, or even 6B, or maybe even if you live in Winter Hardiness Zone like 8, planted somewhere in the shade, but definitely get at least one kiwi berry. Look at the size of this shrub. And despite this not being a good year, there is still a lot of fruit on it. you children will love you for planting the shrub in your garden. So folks, this was the kiwi berry, Actinidia kolomikta. Stay tuned for a lot more tasty fruit videos from the Botanic Garden of Marburg. By the way, don't come here and pick the kiwi berries from the Botanic Garden of Marburg if you don't have a permit. Well, and if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.